Faithletic, the podcast, live and in color here on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Faithletic, the podcast. On your list. Did I say gunslinger?
Yeah, you did.
Something like that.
Yeah, you did. You're good.
So he is taking care of occupational duties this season.
Yes.
And therefore, you got the original team. And not speaking of original team, but in the original Faithletic Sports Callus studios.
We are back
in the original spot.
And almost Texas was almost back this week.
Well, yes, I guess you could say they almost were.
They almost were, but as we know, that almost only counts in horse grenades.
They are not back.
Is that how that works? Horse grenades?
Horse grenades. What did you think of that game?
Making jokes,
by the way.
So I watched most of that while I was in a parade. So I don't really have a whole lot of opinions except for the fact that I did watch the third quarter, midway through the third quarter on, I would say.
Okay.
I can't really put my finger on Texas, nor do I want to, very much, but they sure played Alabama well, and to me, I think it really made Georgia look like they're the number one team of the country by a long shot.
So is this just an anomaly? Because you remember when we were talking last week, and I said I almost went with Texas because they every once in a blue moon play above their heads and beat somebody at home they shouldn't beat.
Right.
And they almost did it. Is this just an anomaly? Is this just maybe Texas playing above their heads?
I don't know. It was a big game, things like that. I think it was hey, we got to play the big. It could be a prove-it game. We're in the SEC. We kind of have to prove ourselves a little bit that we do belong here in the SEC. So
maybe
I don't know. I thought it maybe had a little bit to do with that, and it's tough to say.
Something was in the air definitely Saturday for sure. Upsets.
That makes me want to sing "Mamma Mia" or little ABBA.
There
was something.
You got kind of a little scared in the first half. kinda 7-3 at halftime against Kent State. I mean, that would give you a little bit, especially when it happened all day, because by the time they played, all these teams are getting beat.
So it's funny. I listened to my favorite college football podcast. They have a common theme throughout the year. They weeks like that they called a blood week. Because it was crazy, and so he had one of the guys. I wish that I had it. He had basically parodied it with the revelation of all the upsets that happened this weekend, and it was named a blood week because of the chaos that ensued this weekend. The fact that you had 3 Sun Belt teams win games, and you get Scott Frost fired in one of those games. Which I'm still wearing my Nebraska shirt because they do play OU. They do play OU this weekend, and I would love it if they win. I would love it so much if they win this weekend, but it ain't gonna happen. Although for some reason, the spread started at 18 points last week. It opened at 18, and it's gone down to 11. And I'm not sure if Scott Frost.
What was your deal called?
Scott Frost was what's it?
What was your thing called on the? You said on your podcast?
Oh, the podcast that I listened to, they called it Blood Week.
You want to hear the SEC shorts? The ER was busy in college football.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, let's go. Let's go for it.
A little entertainment here. Hopefully, I don't get banned from.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Through that door, 20-point dog to Alabama.
This could be really ugly.
Just remember your training, and we'll get him patched up to get blown out in the Red River rivalry.
Alert
30 cc's of horns down antidote.
Got a saline Texas is back drip going.
All right, let's just, wait, what the?
It's an Alabama guy, by the way, laying on the gurney.
I'm going to be real with y'all. I didn't see this coming.
Why did I bet the over?
What happened?
They ain't as good as everybody thought they'd be.
Okay, people, I need TV interviews blaming this performance on Texas heat and humidity.
I got an ESPN Get Up Monday morning 9 a.m. slot.
Book it.
His penalty yard numbers are off the charts.
And can we blame this on Big 12 officiating?
Will Anderson? Is that you lined up in the neutral zone?
The narrative of Texas being terrible in the SEC is flatlining.
All right, let's get on a ventilator. We're not losing it on my watch.
Can you tell me where your offensive line is hurting? Offensive line?
He flatlined.
Paddles up. Clear.
Good. Who's not scheduled any more out-of-conference road games this year?
This guy.
His wide receiver drop numbers are rising.
Well, we just need to get him on.
Hey, can I get a little help over here?
It's A&M.
What happened to him?
That is funny.
Oh, just a teeny tiny slip up in the non-conference slate, but the good news is Atlanta is still on the table, and we are keeping the hope alive.
He's hemorrhaging an internal QBR rating.
These offensive samples ain't looking good.
These time of possession scans are insane. I've never seen anything like this. Who did he play? Georgia?
Appalachian State. Hey, at least we get to provide Michigan with some company.
Get her away from me.
This is the A&M guy laying on the gurney.
What is that?
Got another one for you.
Notre Dame coming in.
Karma for all the Brian Kelly jokes I made last week.
Well, the 42-game win streak against unranked opponents is gone.
Oh, what, we in the time machine back in 2007?
All right, triage, let's split up.
Oh, my gosh.
This
How am I doing,
Doc?
Doc?
That's hilarious.
Well, you're lucky. Your vitals are responding well to clutch field goal kicker, but man, you really need to... Oh, sir?
LLSU.
That was the best.
Are you injured?
Oh, no. I'm just taking it all in. Today's been a really great day. I needed this. Who does he play next?
Miami and Arkansas.
You may want to start looking at StubHub for Liberty Bowl tickets. I'm sorry.
You still think we can make it to a bowl? Awesome.
Liberty. Oh, gosh.
Can I get a little help here?
Sir, as we told you in the past, you're going to have to wait until you meet your $15 million deductible. Have a seat in the waiting room.
Well, okay then. Is there any way I could get a couple of extra strength Tylenol?
Sir.
Okay then. Waiting room still this way? Okay. We kid because we know each other well.
This episode was brought to you by Renaissance Bank.
That is funny.
That was awesome.
That was worth the time spent there.
Yeah.
A couple things that I thought was funny was the LSU. Did you see the guy that ran onto the or walked onto the field and just hung out at the goal line? Oh my gosh! It was just a dude that was like looking like he was going on a stroll, and security didn't stop him. He just hung out, kind of crossed his arms up. He got the goal line, and it was just chill vibes. Is what I would call it.
Lined up for the Cowboys.
Oh gosh!
Yet, but I'm going to.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I'll pull it up here in a little bit when we get there. But when we start getting to the Cowboy game, so since we're talking about something in the air and just kind of finishing off what was leading into, just a weird day Saturday of all these teams losing to. I wouldn't call their FBC teams,
right.
But they're originally kind of were. These were not very good. Appalachian State, I guess, they've kind of been known to do this. But Georgia Southern, I mean.
I don't know. It's interesting because I can't remember. Is Jackson State joining the Sun Belt? Like, they're joining somebody.
I think so.
Next year. Like, that's a legit conference with Coastal.
Yeah.
With Appalachian State, Georgia Southern. Who's like they play those teams
and who beat
well.
A&M? Who was it?
Appalachian State.
Oh
Appalachian State.
Yeah. Notre Dame lost to Marshall.
We are Marshall.
They've been around a while. They definitely hang in there.
The old Byron Leftwich days. That they were really good.
You ever seen We Are Marshall?
Oh yeah.
Seen the movie? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a Matthew McConaughey Sunday with Texas.
Yep.
And then Marshall. They showed that picture of him and his all right. Yeah, and then somebody posted the picture of him jumping up and down with We Are Marshall. Is a great picture of those two together. It's like college football afternoon summed up in two pictures, and it was Texas and Marshall. So I thought that was pretty funny. It was a weird Saturday though. It really was. Like I wasn't able to watch, and then Iowa losing to Iowa State, which that's normal, but they're terrible. And it's really interesting to see.
Kurt Franz, is he out? Is he
no,
done?
He's not on the hot seat because they hired him for another 10 years. So I don't know. I have no idea. He should be. It should be talked about. Like,
I mean, he's been there as long as Bob Stoops was at Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, he's been there since.
He got hired the year before Stoops was at Oklahoma, correct?
1993, I think, is how long Ferentz has been there, or 2003.
Yeah, maybe it had.
Let me look.
Yeah,
Hold
look
on.
and see. I seemed like he came in the year before Stoops did because Stoops was a candidate for Iowa because he coached at Iowa.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that
would have been interesting.
Yeah, but he's been there close to 20 years.
Yeah.
So Stoops came there in '99 at OU. I want to say '99 or '98 when he went to Iowa.
Hold on.
To go
Iowa head coaching 1998.
Yeah, see, a year before Stoops.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 8 or I don't know why it said 3.
Stoops were the finalists for that job.
For sure. I wonder if Stoops gets that job, what Iowa does all those years. And really, for instance, like, you can't.
He's been a solid coach.
That's the thing, is like he's been successful, and like Iowa is really all you're hoping for out of them is 8-4 seasons. So it's not like crazy. Nebraska, the whole Scott Frost deal was insane. The fact that they could have, they could have not paid $15 million. They could have waited 3 weeks, and then they could have paid him half that to get rid of him.
I heard that the alumni was so desperate to get him out, they just said, we're just going to pay it.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's causing so much mental anguish, but it's like now we still have 9 months or 9 more games of this, and including we get to play Oklahoma this weekend. So it's like, well, that's great.
It would be funny if we lost that game. It would be really funny.
It would be awesome.
It'd be funny.
Yes. If It's funny because I have no expectations for my teams on Saturday right now, Nebraska and Iowa. Oklahoma. I do have Oklahoma State, but really I don't have a lot of expectations in general.
They're going to let you down eventually.
Right. Saturdays are more fun to watch than Sundays right now because I get stressed with the Chiefs.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You got a lot more hope than I do.
Yeah, I do. By a long shot, and
we'll
we can talk about that later.
Here in a bit,
but I don't know. I kind of hope. I kind of root for chaos. Like I would yes. Like it would be so funny if Auburn beats Penn State this weekend. Like I don't know why it would be, but that would be funny if Nebraska won. So I root for chaos. That would be awesome.
They're playing at Auburn. It's a shot.
Yeah.
There's a shot.
Yeah.
They've been known to cook up a few home remedy meals over there.
Yeah, it's like they were doing an orange out because an ode to the Penn State whiteout. So, but it really, I mean, we had a discussion last week about it, but really that fourth spot that we've kind of already crowned, or the writers have already crowned, like Ohio State,
Georgia,
Alabama, and Georgia as the three that are like clear front runners to take that playoff spot. But really, that fourth spot is just going to be chaos. I think anyway.
No, I mean I said it was Texas A&M. That's gone.
Yeah, that's gone. I said Clemson, and Clemson's offense stinks.
But they're winning.
They're winning.
The game.
Yeah, they're winning, but their offense stinks.
This would really be the prime opportunity for a Big 12 team to
like
step up.
An Oklahoma State team to win. They got to win big these games, and they did this weekend.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't start out so great, but they definitely dominated.
It is funny because I can tell by the less frequency of text messages I get from you during your team's games how well they're doing. So if I don't get any text messages from you,
didn't get a lot from Texas, from Dallas on Sunday.
No, because they're hopeless.
And because it turned the game off.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, I watched. Yeah, that was brutal. But yeah, I think Oklahoma State could take the ball and run for, for that fourth spot. Like, it really is going to be an open battle. But of course, OU is going to do their OU thing, they're for sure.
They always coming out smelling like a rose. They'll be in the thick of it, and they play OSU at home. So they're gonna beat Texas all over the place. But you can't never go by the odds or the favorite in that game, because whatever reason.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. It's a rivalry game.
I mean,
it truly is bedlam.
The year that I can remember John Blake's first season there at OU, and he was like 0-4 going into Texas, and Texas was a top 10 team in the country, and they beat them in overtime.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't. The game has never anything to do.
No, because there's two games that matter on the schedule, like for Texas or for OU. It's Texas and OSU.
Well,
and
they won't admit OSU is, but it is.
No, you're absolutely right, because they care about Texas.
Yeah.
But like, if you go 2-10 and those are the two wins that you get, it's almost like a successful year for OU.
You might get a mulligan for a year.
Yeah,
OU,
I think you would.
More of one.
I think you would.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you were OSU, you would certainly, again, he would be able to keep his job if he beat OU at Texas. But if he at 2-10 or whatever, but I don't know if you could keep it very long at OU for being 2-10, even if you did beat Texas and OSU.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you lost to Kansas and Iowa State and all those other teams.
Which undefeated Kansas, by the way.
They are 2-0.
Put some respect on their name.
They won as many games they won the last 2 years combined.
Insane.
2-0.
Why aren't they receiving votes?
They didn't even get any votes.
This is my question. Why are they got to give them receiving votes? The stinking coaches. Fill out your. Don't give it to the.
They might be 3-0. Who they got this week?
I don't know, but they my.
They might be 3-0.
Yeah, they might.
If they're 3-0, they got to get votes. Heck, they're in my top 25 if they get 3-0. That would be interesting.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden they just come out of nowhere.
And
they play Houston this weekend. Winnable ball game.
Oh, maybe, but
And then they play Duke.
Yeah, that's not an easy game.
That's
either.
a great basketball game right there.
It
Kansas
is.
and Duke.
Wait a minute, were they playing that at Camden Indoor Stadium, or they probably have more fans?
That would be for sure. They're just gonna move that thing to Allen Fieldhouse and call it a day. That's hilarious.
Play a flag football game here. That's funny. No, Houston will be tough because Dana Holgerson's still the coach down there.
Yeah, he is.
He'll throw all over the place. So I think it's at Houston.
That Dana Holgerson, he's something else.
He's funny.
Yeah.
He's the one that brought that style of offense to Oklahoma State that they play now.
Yeah.
Basically, that run and shoot. It's not run and shoot. It's fast break.
Sure.
He brought the fast break. But I said as the season began, if OSU can figure out how to run that fast break offense and just run over people and wear them down, they'll be tough to beat. And they finally figured that out Saturday.
Yeah.
They could. I mean, Arizona State couldn't stop them.
No, they wore them down, and it was a nice looking win.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I didn't really play. I didn't watch it because I was so enthralled with the Nebraska.
Busy.
I was enthralled with the Nebraska game.
Oh.
To be honest with you, I was like trying to figure out. It was like a puzzle of why are we losing to Georgia Southern right now? Like it's got to be Scott Frost. So he gone.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that. I mean, it can't be in anybody's favor to fire. I guess it could be fire coach in midseason, but they certainly. I mean, they just said, you know what, we're going to cut our losses now.
They did hire their first African American head coach at any level in any sport in Nebraska for the first time.
Oh, the interim coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Pretty well-loved guy, but I don't think he'll get the chance to coach. Maybe they bring Bo Pelini back.
That would be a good move.
Man, they'd have to admit that they were wrong, which they were wrong.
They should
for that.
Yeah.
It was like kind of in the middle of it was just the wrong place at the wrong time.
What was the reasons for his dismissal?
There's a couple things, and it was mostly his anger,
Yeah.
and then like somebody caught him on tape, like trashing Nebraska fans as a whole.
No.
And that was no bueno. Like you can't do that, but they overcompensated with bringing Mr. Nice Guy in with Mike Riley.
Oh, that didn't last long.
No, just a few years, and then they bring in Scott Frost. So that's the story of Nebraska. So
where do they go from here?
If we there are rumors of Urban Meyer.
No way.
I'm not kidding.
No way.
I've
heard the rumors too, but there's
no
way.
Yeah, there are rumors of Urban Meyer.
Gracie's trying to join the
telecast.
telecast.
Yeah, I know she is. She's like, I don't want Urban Meyer to.
No,
be
you don't want him there. He'd probably win though.
No, he would win. Maybe. I mean, if his reputation wasn't just absolutely damaged by what happened at Jacksonville.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I don't know who would send my 20-something-year-old to go play for Urban Meyer. I'd be like, absolutely not. Matt Campbell has been mentioned, and I don't think that's like
it's not
that's
a bad decision.
It's not a bad move, but it's
it's
a
lateral
move. Here's my question to you. Okay, obviously there's been a large fall from grace with Nebraska. But would you say it's a top 20 job?
Yeah. I would.
You still think it's
sure
a top 20 job?
Sure it is. Well,
I think it is too. I think like my number was is it a top 15 job? And I don't think it is anymore.
No.
It used to be, but I think top 20
name recognition alone makes that a top 20 job.
I think so. I
Don't
think
you?
you're right. That's how I feel. But I was wondering if you felt the same way.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Because it was somewhere, I would say, within the 20 to 25 range. Now, that's a fall from grace because they were in top 5 for so many years. It was Nebraska, Oklahoma probably as the two most, wanted jobs.
Let's talk about that for a second and compare.
Yeah.
So they're a Power 5 conference.
Yes.
Let's pick a few Power 5 teams in other conferences and see would they be better or a better job or worse job.
Yeah.
Team.
USC.
No.
You don't think so?
No. But USC's a better job.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that they're better than? Or worse than?
Worse than.
Oh, okay.
So USC is a better job.
Yeah, I agree.
Michigan State.
Nebraska's a better job.
Clemson.
See, I thought about that one, and 10 years ago, it would have been easy to say Nebraska, but they've always had that weird following, too, since 1980 when they won the national championship or whatever it was.
Penn State.
We're right there, and I think that's they're probably equal. Wouldn't you say?
Probably.
That's what I think.
Probably lean to Penn State.
Yeah.
Because of the recruiting base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think Bill O'Brien would be a name?
I don't know.
I mean,
he's looking for a job.
He is, and I mean, he did great with Penn State when.
Yeah.
Like the bar was on the floor. Like, to just pick up that franchise.
Especially what they've been through.
Yeah,
choice.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, the bar was so low, and he. Yeah. Anyway, like, I'm trying to think.
Oklahoma State.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska is a better job. Like Ole Miss.
I'd say, where do you have a better chance of winning at?
Probably Nebraska, funds-wise and things like that, and recruiting-wise. You're in the middle of the country. You can recruit from still Texas, Kansas City, Kansas, like all that.
Better job than A&M?
That's a good question.
Is A&M the most overrated job in college football?
It could be. I mean, I used to like A&M, and then like I keep seeing the Midnight Yell stuff.
I can't.
Did you see the one this week?
No, I didn't.
It was awful. The university tried to take it down, but it got out to Twitter, and Twitter has just run wild with it.
Huh.
The kid just saying how Appalachian State doesn't even know how to spell their name, like that kind of stuff.
I don't even know how to spell it.
No, which is fair, but like
I might be able
like
to.
He
but I don't
just
know
totally like basically went after their intelligence in Appalachia. Which, by the way, their stadium is one of the nicest in the country. Like where it's located, yes.
I've never seen it.
It's like in the hills, like of Appalachia, like in South Carolina. And I don't know if you saw the victory celebration, where all of a sudden it was just a mob coming from two sides. They were so pumped that they beat A&M.
So this is how bad it is. I can't even spell it to Google.
Appalachian State. APP.
That's what I got.
ALACHIAN. I have to do that. I'm a history teacher. I got to be able to spell Appalachian.
Let's see, Appalachian Football Stadium. I'm interested.
I talk about the proclamation of 1763 a lot. So I learned how to say Appalachian Mountains because, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
pretty nice.
Yeah, it is.
Really nice. Also, that's where Luke Combs went to school.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. We're going to have karaoke.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I can only do Elvis.
Thank you.
Speaking of stadiums, have you seen the updates to UCO?
No.
Pretty slick.
Pretty slick?
Pretty slick.
I know they were in some people's inboxes, like, hey, get out to the game.
Yeah, they were.
Yep, they were living in inboxes.
So we're having our
reunion?
Yes.
Nice.
40-year anniversary of the national championship.
Boy.
October 15th, I think.
Wow.
And then they're having a big alumni reunion as well, like 2 weeks, which makes no sense to me because they're to me it's confusing. But see if I can pull up an aerial view of the new stadium. The inside just looks incredible, and they've been working on that now for a couple of years. But
sure.
The guy that owns Paycom has done all the
updates.
Yeah, he's one that's paid for the. I don't know if you can see it or not. There it
is. Is he a Paycom grad? Or is he a UCO grad?
I think he is. I don't know if you can see that or not. But
that looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, for Division II.
Yeah.
It's one of the finer. They're in that Mid-America Athletic Conference,
sure.
whatever that is.
And they're in the same division as Pittsburgh State?
Yes.
They are. Okay.
And they're and it's been said to be one of the finest ones in the conference, and that's almost that Division II national championship usually comes out of that conference every year.
Sure,
usually.
Is that the same Northwest Missouri State too?
Yes.
Northwest Missouri State is like that's where my uncles went, and so I know like they're absolutely
they're
just
dominant. Yeah,
dominant. Yeah.
Well, they have their coach.
Yeah.
They hired their coach, the one that had won there before.
Oh, really?
He'd been there before and started that trend.
Yeah.
That's who's coaching.
What's the other? Mount Union.
Mount Union.
Are they in the same? Because they're really big
I don't
too.
think they are.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah,
who coached it? Who was a famous Pitt State coach though?
That was. It started out there was the. Hold on, Francione.
Oh, really?
Francione started there.
I was thinking another guy. Pretty big.
Help me out.
Sam Pittman.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He was at Pittsburgh
State.
State.
After Francione.
Yeah. So yeah.
You
Sam
know who
Pittman.
Francione is, right? He was at Alabama and
yes.
then he went to A&M. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sam Pittman was there, which he's just one of my favorite coaches in college football. Like he's
a good coach.
Well,
he's got him going.
You know what's funny is like I loved when Ed Orgeron was at LSU because
let's go Tigers.
Yes, because
I couldn't stand him.
I know, but is there a more Cajun dude than Ed Orgeron?
Not at all.
And then like, is there a more Arkansas dude than Sam Pittman
Probably
right
not.
now? Like,
speaking of Arkansas,
yeah,
SEC kills them, but because they got to get through Alabama and got to get through Georgia and got through Florida and all.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah,
they're pretty good.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like they
look like a legitimate contender last week playing against South Carolina. And I know South Carolina is not going to set the world on fire, but they played from solid. I watched some of that game. They're pretty solid.
Yeah, didn't they beat Ole Miss week 1 or whoever they played?
Yeah, they beat. Yeah, somebody.
It was somebody.
They're number 10 in the country right now. They're legit top 10 team right now.
I agree. I agree, and I think it has everything to do with Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
Like, well, and just winning is contagious between the like.
It is.
Yeah, Must Bus and the basketball team. Like Arkansas is just a good spot to be. It's great vibes there. And to be honest, like I don't think it's the best. I have no problem saying it's my favorite campus in the country that I've been.
It's
I've
a pretty
been
cool
to visit.
campus.
Yeah.
And those of you may not know, I was there my freshman year, and I had the opportunity to be an athletic trainer on the staff of Eddie Sutton and Lou Holtz at the same time.
Which is one of the coolest facts
coaches,
that, yeah.
And one of my claim to fames.
Yeah.
So I saw that stadium when it was compared to what Lewis Field used to be in Stillwater before you came around these
right,
parts.
Yeah, sure.
It was 2 grandstands on both sides.
That's it.
And that's what Razorback Stadium was. And now they've enclosed that, and it holds like 90,000 fans now, and it's crazy.
My only thing is like I think Hogs fans are a little delusional.
They're crazy.
They're a little bit delusional. Who do you think? Here's a question. Who do you think has the most delusional fan base in college football?
I don't know.
Like no grip on reality of like who they are. So I agree.
I don't know if Arkansas is delusional. They're just nuts. Because they're kind of realistic about the expectations.
Are they though?
I think so.
Because I know a lot of Arkansas fans, and it's like sometimes I walk away. I'm like, okay, buddy.
They're more positive than any other.
Sure,
fans.
and maybe that's the thing.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and it could be as like, dude, but you haven't been good since
the 80s,
right? And you had one good year where it was McFadden and Felix Jones and Ryan Mallett. And like that's
they were
been
pretty good, but they only had 3 plays.
Right, and that was your. But that's been the expectation ever since. And I'm like, dude, we're not in 2007 anymore.
They weren't even that good.
No, they just ran the Wildcat. They were the first ones to do that. Really, or the Wild Hog.
That was a variation of Houston Nutt and Gus Malzahn's offense.
Yes. Also, speaking of Wildcats. Kansas State is a team to watch out for They've looked really good.
They are every year.
I know, but now it's like
they scare me more than anybody.
They should.
As
like they
fan.
have Adrian Martinez, who's in his 8th year right now.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I feel
Super
like
duper senior.
Huh? I swear, like, because he was the transfer from Nebraska. That he went over there this year. I mean, they beat Missouri 40-12 this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they were dominant, and then it's like, they beat South Dakota, who's no slouch.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Actually, that's South Dakota's.
They beat Missouri that bad?
That's not the right. It's they beat them 40-12, and they play Tulane this weekend.
They'll win that
Watch
game.
out, man. Like, I'm telling you, they're gonna wreak havoc.
They always do, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
They either beat Texas, Oklahoma State, or OU every year. One of them is going down.
By the way, we do need to mention. We did mention Kansas earlier.
Yeah.
But who is the leader in the standings in the Big 12?
We haven't gotten that far yet. Oh,
in the Big 12?
Oh,
Kansas. It's Kansas.
Well, but they're two.
No, they're 1-0 in the conference, so they are the top of the division. West Virginia.
Oh, that's right, in the opener.
Yes.
Yeah, they're 1-0.
That's ridiculous.
They better enjoy that.
Yeah,
that'll
they
be the last
should.
time you see them there.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they get.
They'll beat Texas for the 4th straight year.
Poor Texas. I don't know if I've ever, and I grew up in Texas, so I've been around, and I was a fan, a long time ago. I was a big fan when they won the national title in the 60s. And just seeing where that they have become. I mean, they're so, look, if you look at the Big 12 right now, yes or no, Texas in stature right now, where are they? And just say
4th.
Above or below. Well,
okay, yeah.
Above or below. So Kansas State,
they're above.
Baylor?
But I think they're equal.
They're below.
Yeah, I think they're below
When's the last time
Baylor.
Texas has been the Big 12 championship game?
I know.
Okay, well, maybe 2 years ago. But, okay, so Kansas, they have a record doesn't show good. Iowa State, not very good there either.
No,
West Virginia, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, yeah.
Yeah.
TCU,
yeah.
Oklahoma State.
No, I don't think they're above
Oklahoma
State.
Below.
Yeah, that's why I have them 4th, and I think
there's more teams than we said were above or closer.
Right,
than that, though.
right. But I could make legitimate arguments for Baylor, for Oklahoma State, and for Oklahoma for being a better franchise since 2008.
Can you pull up Texas's schedule?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I guess
we're
we know it because
we're
it's
really
be
doing
Big
some Mike Francesa stuff tonight.
We're just shooting from the hip
that's
today.
Right. Yeah, and I gotta. By the way, I feel like I'm a little like Chris Collinsworth, who sounded awful the other day.
Chris, shut up. Man.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what?
I'm listening to him.
My problem was, I was like, why?
You don't sound anything like that.
No, good, but like, I mean, I love Chris Collinsworth. I think he's great. You can't stand him. I like him because like he's so smart when it comes to. Here's the guy.
He was bad.
Let's see. So here's the rest of the season. Okay. Texas Tech this weekend.
They'll win.
West Virginia.
They'll win.
Oklahoma.
Lose.
Iowa State.
Where's it at?
At Texas.
They'll probably win.
Oklahoma State at Stillwater.
They're gonna lose that game.
Kansas. They might lose to Kansas State.
There's 3 losses. Two losses.
TCU.
Probably win.
Kansas.
Probably win.
Baylor.
Lose. They're gonna lose 4 games.
And that might be great for them.
Well, it's better than last year.
Yeah, they're looking at 8-4.
Yeah,
they get a bowl game.
That's
out
not
of that.
acceptable, but that's better.
Maybe they can play in the Texas Bowl. Good for them.
In Houston,
it's so sweet.
Play TC or
the
Sam
Alamo
Houston
Bowl.
State or
you
something.
Just stay down there.
University of Texas El Paso.
If Iowa makes a bowl game, I will eat my crock. Like that's how I feel right now. This crock.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It sounded like.
Oh gosh, that's right.
Okay. All right. So,
boy, we really got off the rails tonight.
We're railless right now. So let's talk about our picks. Let's talk about before we get into our picks, let's talk about pro football. First week of pro football, surprises, disappointments. First week.
Well,
we'll
surprises. Yeah. Like pleasant surprises. One was Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Just how good the Bills are.
They threw it up.
Threw it up. The Bills are who we thought they were.
Yes.
The Chiefs are. The Chiefs looked great last weekend, and I know it's Arizona, but that said, if you're a great team, you are expected to win that big, and their backups were playing the last 7 minutes of the game. The biggest surprise, the other pleasant surprise, Miami looked really good,
and I thought they would.
Yeah,
I think we all did.
Yeah, I think we all did too. But they looked really good with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, and they were.
Oh no, we all didn't.
No, we didn't. The gunslinger. I'm telling you, I think
Giants.
I think they win that division running. In my opinion, I do.
They're gonna beat the Bills.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They're gonna be a playoff team easily a playoff. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking about the Bills, but
who did we?
I had them for sure.
I did not have them as a playoff team. You did have them as a playoff team.
The Vikings was another pleasant surprise this weekend, and Justin Jefferson might be the best player in football.
The wideout.
Yes.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Look, and you know what's going to make me even happier?
When Rodgers retires at the end of this season?
Well, yes, that will too.
Yeah.
To see Josh Fields sliding on the field.
That was awesome.
That was
awesome.
Stuff.
Oh, my gosh. I can't tell you how excited I was about that game. I was pretty stoked about it. Both my teams are in prime time this weekend, by the way.
Do you think that the Bears have anything, if they have anything to say about it, can pull this off this week after what he said about them last year?
That's actually a good question because I thought about that. I was like,
they're in our picks this week, right?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah. So, with him saying that I own you, I thought about that, and I'm like, they're gonna play inspired football.
They're gonna be better.
But I'm like but I'm also like so snake bitten by Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, yeah, he does own us. Probably I have him on my fantasy team, and I'm like, yeah, he should definitely start him against the Bears.
No, history says that he. Do you believe he's going 0-2?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't either.
No.
Good consciousness. I can't.
No, I think he's going to come out swinging like they did last year, week 2.
And they're at Green Bay, so
if
they were in Chicago, I might have a tendency to pick them.
Yeah, they last year. Remember, they lost 33-3 or whatever against the Saints, and they came out and won 7 straight games after that. Here's another team, by the way. Speaking of the Saints, I can't put my finger on them. What kind of team are they going to be?
I don't know.
Because the obviously the Falcons, Mariota looked good, by the way, but they totally just pulled the Falcons. At the end of that game.
They're like the new Oklahoma State of pro football.
Yes, where it's going to be 45-43.
Yeah.
They were in control of that game. Mariota looked good, and they just decided to give it away.
They've given away several of those the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Remember Dallas last year?
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then the Super Bowl.
Oh,
they just never have been the same. They've never been the same since that Super Bowl.
They have not. And they got new coaching and everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't Dan Quinn the coach?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of disappointments. The Cowboys are number 1 on that list, and I'm sorry to say it, but they're number 1 on that list. And the Packers are probably number 2 after that, looking at just how little weapons they have. And then I do think the Chiefs are better than the Chargers and the Raiders watching that game. Between the Chargers and Raiders. I saw glaring weaknesses. in both those games. I watched just about every game this weekend.
So
by the way,
let's see. Well, that can't be right. Who did Josh have in the Super Bowl? Green Bay, didn't he?
Yeah. Are you sure you want Arizona? Can we?
No, well, I was just looking at it.
I feel like you need a mulligan after that game.
I might need it, but
because I know you're a conspiracy theorist and stuff like that. But there's no way Arizona's making it to the Super Bowl. So I want to give you a mulligan.
Well, my disappointment is Arizona.
Yeah.
Even though they were playing the Chiefs, I just felt like they were gonna have a better game.
They're
Buffalo, I have in the Super Bowl, so I'm
you're good there.
I'm good there. You got Green Bay and Kansas City. I don't see Green Bay. Look, I didn't pick them in the Super Bowl, but one game doesn't define them. They proved that last year,
right?
And then Gunslinger had Kansas City and Green Bay, so he's kind of the same boat I'm in.
Yeah.
But
did you see that drop that Christian Watson had for the Packers?
No.
Wide open in the second drive of the game, and you could just tell Aaron Rodgers was like, "I'm never passing to that kid again."
Yeah,
like
that's too bad.
Never.
I had, and speaking of just kind of swaying over to fantasy for a second, I picked against my better judgment. I picked Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I could have told you not to do
Don't
that.
do it. I did it anyway. And he gets hurt, and he played terrible, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But and then my other starting running back,
Eli Mitchell got hurt.
Yeah, got hurt. So
the other big injury was T.J. Watt got hurt and probably tore his pec.
Or for Pittsburgh,
he doesn't need surgery, so he's on 7 weeks. But like he tore it up. No pun intended, but he looked awesome on the field.
Do I got to worry about any language of Scooter Magruder?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We're gonna see it here.
I don't think so. I don't think you have to worry about Scooter.
Meet Febreze Small Spaces, the most convenient
and a Febreze commercial.
Get rid of that. So Scooter Magruder is a guy just does these parodies. He's a Cowboys fan, so he's pretty funny if you have never heard him before. Okay, here we go.
So glad football's back. Tyler Smith starting at left tackle. Let's get it. What type of trick play was that? Almost killed the drive. I like Zeke's new visor. Okay. Connor McGovern went down. Our O-line's already
Zeke
thin.
couldn't see out of that thing.
Can we stop running trick plays for Pollard? Can we just hand him the ball? The heck? Okay, Brett. Starting the year off right. 1 for 1. I'm not calling him Money Maher till he makes 3 in a row. Okay, defense. Way to hold him. I see you, D-Law. I love the 88 commercial. I can't believe Julio Jones signed with the Bucs. How much help does Tom Brady need? Defense is giving up too many chunk yards. We keep stopping them when it matters, though. Can Chris Collinsworth drink a tea or something? Get this man a lozenge. Tom Brady is getting the ball out quick. Not quick enough. Nice set, Michael Parsons. Yeah! They missed the kick. Let's go. We're right back in it. Oh, Dak. Interception. He tried to force it to CD. Micah Parsons, another sack. Way to hold him. Micah Parsons is a grown man. He's on pace to get 34 sacks this year. We just run the option with Dak? We need to run Dak more often. He's a mobile quarterback. Our offense is looking heavily suspect. That's just a great catch by Julio. Nothing you can do about that. Nice hold again, defense. If we would have signed Julio Jones, we wouldn't have this problem right now. We'd probably be winning. Can we not rough the punter? This feels just like the 49ers game in the playoffs. Nothing's changed. I am depressed. Our defense is getting tired now. Leonard Fournette's running all over us. Is Jayron Kearse hurt too? And Mike Evans one-hands a touchdown. Come on. Dak gets sacked again. How many penalties are we going to get? I thought we were supposed to be disciplined now. What does Red Batman stand for? False start? Come on, Terrence Steele. And we turn it over on 4th down. I'm about to turn this game off. I ain't signed up for this. Why do I watch football? Let's go, Donovan Wilson. Interception. The comeback starts now. We really just go 3 and out. How is Brett Maher the only person I'm not mad at? Now Dak's hands messed up. Cooper Rush is in the game now. This is going to be a long season. This season's over. I miss House of the Dragons for this. Only one hoping was Micah Parsons. All teams are going to cover CeeDee Lamb. They're going to triple team CeeDee Lamb. Who are we going to throw the ball to? It's not like we couldn't have seen this coming. Oh! Except we could. Hire offensive lineman. Get a receiver. Now you understand. We couldn't have predicted this was going to happen. All we did was let Amari Cooper go. All we did was let Lyle Collins go. I don't deserve this. Why do I watch football? How are we the only team in the NFC East to lose?
Sure it does.
Waited a whole year for us to score 3 points. Dak is out 6 to 8 weeks. No, I'm not watching this season. I'm done. That's the last game I watch this season.
That's the last game.
Like me.
That sounds a lot like you.
It sounds a lot like me.
I think it's. Is it? I don't know. Now maybe you can enjoy it. Actually, now that your expectations.
Enjoy what? Watching them? I ain't gonna watch Dallas. Are you crazy? I might watch a game. You and I got a kind of a game date coming up.
Yeah. We got Chiefs Bears.
But
hey, maybe that game is cheaper now.
It might be real cheap. It might be real cheap. Let me tell you something. So I said publicly I'm going to start out with a positive attitude. I picked them to win last week. I was encouraged that maybe, but I bought into the hype. And then it took me about a quarter and a half to go. And let me tell you, it was really quicker than that because when I saw the offensive line on their first drive, I thought, this is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Smoke and mirrors. And, look, I can see where whoever it was from the Bucs said they could figure out what they were doing just by watching them line up and seeing their tendencies. The minute they did that trick play with Tony Pollard, I said, that's it, the drive is done.
That's it.
And because they hadn't, it's almost like they've got the ball moving. Why do they got to play? Why do they got to pull a trick play? And Scooter Magruder said it. Can we just hand it off to Tony Pollard and let him run?
At what point can you cut bait with Zeke and say you're not it because he's not? He doesn't do anything but run into the lineman in front of him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't shift around the line. He doesn't look to get outside. He's just not the same.
I don't know.
So Tony Pollard's a better runner, and they use that little shark wheel, in the flats. Like he's great with that pass in the flats, and I would be too because I was discouraged too. Like weirdly, I want the Cowboys to be successful, and
And you do that because of me, probably, but
a little bit,
but
a lot of it, but like
I said when the season started, before I got all positive for 1 week, that if they lose 3 of their first 5, they're in really serious trouble. They're going to lose 3 of the first.
Well,
5.
And I think the Eagles are so strong
and
too.
The Eagles are pretty good.
Yeah,
and I knew they would be improved.
Yeah,
and I didn't pick the Cowboys to win the division. So do you know when the last time? Speaking of which, the last time the NFC East had back-to-back champions.
Oh, it's got to be like 2000 or something like that.
2003, 2004. You know who it was?
Was it the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Yeah.
Which makes sense because that was Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid there.
Yeah. I don't know. Just it does. It's. I mean, look. I said all along their offensive line was going to be suspect.
Yeah.
They lost Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
So and then they moved the guy who has more penalties in the history of the NCAA to fill his spot. And the main penalties you're getting the whole game is false starts, pre-snap penalties, and offensive holding.
Well, and now you went from honestly, you have the Eagles who look much improved with A.J. Brown who just dominated last week.
Yeah.
You have the Giants who now have Saquon Barkley that looks otherworldly.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Carson Wentz throws for 400 yards with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
Like, Jahan Dotson was awesome this weekend in a rookie game where he had 2 touchdowns. Like, they've improved. And so now Cooper, what a rush, is going to be the starting quarterback for 8 weeks. Not good.
And Jerry's ego will not allow him to go get a veteran guy. So, and I mean, Minshew, Colin Kaepernick, whatever. No. I mean, look, I'd probably take Minshew.
Cam Newton?
No. He's trash. He's trash. I mean, he can't play.
Yeah.
And neither can, if Colin.
Handsome Jimmy? Try to trade for him?
Who?
Jimmy Garoppolo?
I'd take him. I would.
Jimmy G?
Because I've maintained all along he's a better pick than Dak.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'd take him all day.
Yeah. He actually might be better.
Swagger alone might be enough to win him a few games. So, I don't know. I mean, that's I guess why they don't pay me to be
Swagger or just his looks?
I know, Swagger. That's what gets me where I am. It's called Swagger. Swag. Okay, so getting into our picks. Anything else you want to cover from the football weekend?
No.
It's good the football to be back full scale, right?
Yeah. I missed
for you,
NFL.
You're good. Well, you're on the college end. You're suffering. On the pro end, I'm suffering.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of both suffering.
Yeah.
But college team.
But I care about the NFL more, just in general, anyway. But
so I don't.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, If I have a pick between I don't know, I might be leaning to if I had a pick between Dallas winning a Super Bowl or OSU winning a national title, I think I'd pick OSU.
Probably because you never seen it before. Yeah,
I've seen 5 seasons the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, so I've seen all 5. So I'd probably say Oklahoma State. Okay, our picks last week, and I'll go over these briefly because we're getting up on the 60-minute mark, even though we're not glued to it.
We were chatty tonight.
We were a little chatty tonight. So, key games that were missed last week, I think we all no, we did not. I was going to say we did. We all missed the Tennessee at Pittsburgh, which I was kind of surprised that Tennessee beat Pitt.
Yes. Did I miss that one?
You picked Pitt.
I did pick Pitt. Yeah, you're right.
And we all missed that one. 2 of us missed Iowa State. You got that one right. All of us got OSU right. All of us got Buffalo right. I was the only one that got Kentucky at Florida right. Correct. I picked Kentucky.
That was an interesting move.
And they're top 10 team right now too.
Yeah, they
are. Arkansas and Kentucky.
Yeah.
2 maybe the most surprising teams
Interesting.
right now.
Interesting stuff.
All of us picked Buffalo.
Let's
Gunslinger,
go,
big or
Buffalo.
not, picked Tampa Bay. You and I were suckers and picked the Cowboys.
I thought Cowboys at home, and here we were.
Gunslinger picked New England. He couldn't pick against Bill Belichick. I picked Arizona, and the only one that two that we got right, all 3 of us got right, was the OSU game and the Chargers game.
Sure. All right.
So Chargers, Las Vegas.
So who's our front runner?
So you are 7-3.
Okay.
And Gunslinger and I are tied at 6-4 going into week 2.
Back to where I belong.
Okay, I'll start out with this is our picks for the week, games of the week. If you are one of our guest chatsters, Faithleticers, whatever you want to call them, you're welcome to pick, and we'll keep track of you on our picks. My wife picked 1 game last week, and she was 1-0, so she picked Oklahoma State. Yep. BYU at Oregon.
Oh, interesting. At Oregon. You go first.
I'm going to go with Oregon.
You're going to go with Oregon.
Josh, by the way, went BYU.
He did go BYU. Geez, I'm pulling a gunslinger over here.
Yeah, yes you are.
I am.
You are.
I'm gonna go with Oregon.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Oregon.
Okay. Michigan State at Washington. This is an interesting matchup.
It is. Let's see.
And Gunslinger went Michigan State, by the way.
He did. Okay. I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna go Washington.
I think I will too.
Yeah, that's at Washington. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's just Washington, the home team there. There's a lot of funky stuff happens in the Big 10 or Pac-10 or Pac-12 or Pac-16 or whatever it is. All right, this one is an interesting matchup, especially what happened last week.
Right.
Miami at A&M. No, that is incorrect.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is.
It's Miami at A&M.
Okay, Miami at A&M. I'll go first. I think A&M wins this.
Yeah, I think they'll be fired up a little bit. But I think I'm gonna go Miami.
Ooh.
I really am. I think Miami is sneaky good this year.
They're legit, but I just can't see.
They're
feisty.
feisty.
I can't see them going 0-2. Gunslinger went with Miami. And Penn State at Auburn.
I'm gonna go War Eagle. I'm gonna go War Eagle.
And the Gunslinger went Penn State. I think I'm gonna go with Penn State. Although that is that's who's the favorite in that game? Do you have that?
Yeah, it's 3. It's just -3 in favor of
Penn State's favorite.
Penn State's favored by 3.
So it's even.
Yeah. All these games are.
That would be 6.
I kind of think so. Michigan State.
Field.
Yeah. BYU is favored by 3. Michigan State was favored by 3. A&M was favored by 8. Auburn was favored, or Penn State was favored by 3, and then we got OU Nebraska, which is favoring OU by
35,
11 actually. 11.
What do you got?
I got OU.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would pick different than that. I did.
I can't wait to be pleasantly surprised and just rub. No, it's not gonna happen.
It'd be funny though.
It would be hilarious. I would love it.
You know, some people you're not on Facebook that much, but there are some people that I like them. But when they get into their OU modes on Facebook, I want them to lose
so bad. Yeah. So I was telling my dad that the other night. It's like I have become this person where since Iowa and Nebraska suck, I just want OU to lose every weekend. I think that's what I root for the most. It's like, and I'm not like that usually, but I just want them to lose every week.
If you dislike them as much as I do, you want them to lose every weekend.
Yes.
It's okay. There's more of you like that out there.
It's okay.
All right, in the pros, Miami at Baltimore.
That's a toughie.
It is.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna actually go against my better judgment, and I like Miami so much that I'm gonna go with them.
You know, I've had a hard time picking this. I've been thinking about it, not all day, but a couple of times today.
Yeah.
My gut tells me Baltimore. I'm going with it.
Okay. All
right. Arizona at Las Vegas. This is an interesting matchup because they both lost last week, and they're playing at Las Vegas.
I'm going Vegas.
I kind of think I am, too, although it's going against my Super Bowl pick.
Sure.
And so did
your Super Bowl pick stinks.
All right. It sure looks that way. So much for a $298 million contract for Tyler Murray.
Yep.
Tyler Murray. Minnesota at Philly. This will be interesting.
That is interesting, and I'm going to go with Philly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gunslinger went with Minnesota.
He did.
I think I will stick with Philly.
Okay.
And then your two favorite teams are in our last two picks.
Yes.
I'm going to let you decide which game you want to pick first.
I'm going to say the Packers are going to beat the Bears.
Okay.
I don't want to say it, but it just until I'm proven otherwise.
I
will be pleasantly surprised if the Bears win. In fact, I might walk in with my Justin Fields jersey.
I would if I were you.
Yeah, if they win that game, I'm wearing my Justin Fields jersey on next Wednesday. For sure.
And Gunslinger picked Green Bay as well. And then the game of the week, in my opinion, the game of the week.
Tomorrow.
It is. It's a Thursday night game.
It's a Thursday night game.
The Kansas City Chiefs at Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, great googly moogly. Chiefs all the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Chiefs all the
your
way.
Your boy picked the Chargers.
I know he did. Apparently he didn't watch any football this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City all day.
No, I think it's going to be a heck of a game, though. No. I mean, we're watching two of the best quarterbacks in the league. This is why we do this. But Keenan Allen being out is going to hurt them big time, I think. But our secondary is not great. So it should be interesting. I love it.
Do you have a devotional up ready to go?
I can get one.
Could you?
Yeah.
I did not do my homework and got one ready today.
I'll figure it out.
I'll
use my old youth pastor Jedi skills.
While you are doing that, I will tell folks about how to find out more about us. In case you're tuning into us for the first time, we have a YouTube channel. It's Faithletic the podcast.
That's
Just type in Faithletic on your phone and YouTube search button, and it'll pull up. If you really want to hear us every time that we post a video, hit the like button and the bell, and you will be notified every time we post a new show. And by the way, week 1 of season 4 was last week. Is posted on our YouTube channel and on Facebook, by the way, so people can catch us on Facebook, on Twitch, Faithletic the Pod, or on YouTube. And if you want to join us live, it's on Twitch every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock during football season. We're kind of sporadic during off season, but if you're joining us for the first time, also our name is Faithletic. It's partially because we do sports, and the other because we are believers here, and we like to conclude our show with some positive good news, and we hope maybe we can inspire somebody and offer hope to others. So that's where Faithletic comes in.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I started talking about the fruit of the Spirit, and I said, hey, let's just go back to the basics a little bit. And so I want to go back to the basics. The Vince Lombardi, this is a football situation. So we talked about last time, we talked about love, joy, and peace. This time we got just the basics of patience, kindness, and goodness. And it says this, that patience is exhibiting calmness during the midst of stressful situations. It's showing empathy toward others when they are not doing things to our standard. Patience is produced when we support the growth in others as they are on their own journey in life. It's not getting easily disgruntled when a delay occurs that won't matter in 10 years, let alone 10 days. Patient people don't become easily annoyed, agitated, nor do they show intolerance. Which I think I needed to hear that today.
That's good.
Honestly. Kindness is being genuinely kind to anyone and everyone. It assumes that all people deserve kindness, no matter the differences, viewpoints, and cultures. Something so important in my classroom, by the way, is that I hope that that's the environment that I can create. Kindness celebrates others and serves when there is a need. It looks out for the well-being of others and shows compassion when needed. It assists others and shows courtesy and benevolence to anyone. Kind people do not display animosity, ill will, or envy toward others. And then finally, goodness. Goodness is truly desiring to help others. It doesn't approach or entertain sin. Goodness does the right thing and challenges other people to do the same, even if the conversation is uncomfortable. It is decent, honest, moral, honorable, virtuous, and full of integrity. Good people don't just do the right thing, they make things right. And then here are a couple verses from that. You got from Psalm 37:7, be still before the Lord and patiently wait for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. And then Proverbs 11:17 says, those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin on themselves.
What is that, 11:17?
Yes, 11:17. Proverbs 11:17.
That's good stuff.
And then James 3:13, who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in humility. Humility that comes from wisdom. So there is your daily at the cross. Those were good reminders for me. It was something that I needed to hear. And let me tell you what, Dan, pulling back the curtain, it was not my favorite day just in life. I said that it came in. But coming back here tonight, talking about sports, talking about
kind of brought you about.
Yes, you know, I think you know, that was a good point that I'm gonna forget about whatever happened 10 days from now. You know, and I think
you will.
Yeah,
you will.
We'll be good.
I'm kind of like that when I get angered and when I have issues. Is it goes away really quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Now, if somebody wants to keep bringing it up, then I might have an issue. But
yep.
If most of the time I can let it go because I deal with anger all the time, but it's usually short-lived.
Sure.
The better of me gets the better of me. Okay. Let me see if I got this exit. No sneezing here.
Vince McMahon. He gets mad. He got mad at sneezes for many years.
Did he?
Yeah. Which, by the way, bye.
Well,
so much better without Vince.
I did not get any volume here, man.
I can sing a song. Sunday morning came and woke up fighting mad.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going to try to get us some. Here we go. Anyway, next Wednesday night, 8 p.m., we will discuss our picks from tonight, and we will go over week 3, and hopefully the Gunslinger joins us back. Again, thanks for everybody for joining us. And I am Coach, and I'm with
KC.
And we are
Faithletic, the podcast.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.